Get up here, son. Get up here. All right, y'all. So I guess we, gonna do another video. I guess I got another location instead of always sitting in my other spot. I decided to just come on back right here. As y'all can see, we got a few of the juniper trees. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, there's about 8 or 9 right over here in this area right here. So pretty soon they're gonna start producing juniper trees. Even right here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's loads of juniper trees out here, man. Those juniper berries is a real deal, y'all. I'm proud of them. I love them, But yeah, I want to just do another video. I really didn't know what I was gonna do a video on today. But something popped in my head. I remember somebody asked a question about ADHD. Well, what do they do if you had a kid with ADHD and they wanted to put on medication? So I said, you know what? Maybe let me talk about my experience. Back in the 90s and 80s, they used to call it what? ADD. That's what I was so-called labeled with because, I typically made straight F's in school. That's what I made, all F's, F, 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 F. I don't know if I was bored or couldn't pay attention. I couldn't pay attention for no more than 5 to 10 seconds. I just couldn't, so it's not that it was tough because school was actually easy. Like whenever I want to do like math, for the most part, actually I really didn't make all F's in math. Math was easy. I remember at one point I was making all A's in math, like hundreds, nothing less than 100. In science, and I was pretty interested in those courses. So it was easy. But the other courses, I had no interest in, like grammar, spelling, English, reading, social studies, science, history. A lot of those basic classes, it just wasn't me. So if I I guess I could say lucky to get a 50 in the class, but yeah, it was tough, all through our grade school, it was tough, So I remember when I got like in the 7th grade, I really couldn't even play sports because I was always flunking out, flunking. I was just straight up, so I was flunking, and I never forget in the 7th grade, my mama gave in and, they went to the hospital, put me on the medication. Remember those, the ADD pills, ADD at the time, the ADD pills, and it was tough. But you know what I realized? I remember that first 2-6 weeks, I made all A's. But I never forget, my dad was like, well, how do you feel, son? I told him, I was like, I don't know, I don't feel nothing. I'm just bored. This was me. I was like all day in class. I was paying attention, but I was like a ghost. It was done. So my dad was like, after that, he took me off of it. He like literally took me off. But I will say, in the 7th grade, the whole way through the 7th grade, after those 2-6 weeks, those drugs still stayed in my system because I was still able to somewhat focus, but I was just like lost. I was lost and I was just there. That's like the only year I really don't remember nothing about. Especially the first and second 6 weeks, I don't remember nothing. I remember I go back all the way to kindergarten, the 1st grade, Miss Brown. 2nd grade, Miss Koshin. 3rd grade, I forgot the name of her teacher. 4th grade, I think 4th grade was Miss Koshin. 1st grade, Miss Hall. 5th grade, Miss Brown, one of my favorite teachers of all time. So I go back from all my teachers. 6th grade, I never forget. I never forget 6th grade. I remember all my teachers. 7th grade, Miss Samuels. Yeah, I go back. I can remember all my teachers for the most part. But 7th grade, for the most part, I do remember Miss Samuels, or unless she was 8th grade, but. It was just, I just don't remember anything about, 7th grade, man. Those pills, it took me for, watch out, son, it took me for a roller coaster. So 8th grade, 9th grade, 10th grade on up, I'd be in class. Now, I never got in trouble in grade school. I never shut up. I always talk. That's what I do because, I'm a talker. I love to talk. So I was always talking, 24/7 in class. I never was disrespectful. I was never, ever disrespectful to the teachers. I always respected them. I never ever did the skip class stuff. That was me. I was never sick. I was always in class on time. I just couldn't pay attention. Like I was a student that was always in class, but I just could not. Come here, son. I just could not pay attention. That's it just wasn't fun. Even I remember. I love biology. Now I love the book. I love the body. I went with biology, freshman, Coach Hibbets. I just couldn't pay attention. I don't even think I don't even think I made no more than a 30 in this class. I think I failed every single thing because I just couldn't pay attention, man. The ADD was like really. I don't want to say ADD, but that's what I was so called labeled with. It was really like really messed with me all throughout grade school. And I would like to say a lot of it had to do with my nutrition. It wasn't my parents' fault. You know, they did the best they could. But for the most part, I'm going to be honest, out of all my brothers, sisters, and cousins, wherever pies and cakes came around, they might eat one slice. I was eating 5 to 6 slices. And that's why I was always getting injured in sports, twisting my ankles. I used to twist my ankles 2 to 3 times a month for over 20-something years. I'm going to do a video on that because I don't have those problems anymore. You know, everything's pretty much activated. Yeah, so that was tough. Like cakes and pies, like when they was like people eating typical breakfast. You know the typical breakfast we used to have back in the 80s and 90s. You know, I was always taking my breakfast money, and I was going to the store and I was buying honey buns and cinnamon buns and Snickers, and that's what I was eating for breakfast. And then I remember I would beg people for lunch money for like, give me 45 cents. Now I buy more honey buns and Snickers. That's pretty much what that was me, you know. So knowing what I know now, I'm like, man, I understand why I struggle with that stuff. You know, it was bad. You know, it was bad growing up. You know, like I said, it wasn't my parents' fault because you know, if I was just like not eating no sweets or junk foods, you know, I wouldn't have had those issues. And yes, I was sneaking the stuff out. Although, yeah, my daddy did go out and buy the food. He said, yo, don't worry, they're buying out. Pretty much it did because, you know, it was just in my genetics, you know. Me being overweight just wasn't me, you know, for the most, because I was always moving. Even when I used to go out and twist my ankles and I couldn't even walk for days, as soon as I was able to get up and limp, I was out hooping, you know. But like I said, we was always, every day in the summertime from like the age of 8 to 18 years old, we were swimming all day long. Like we used to be in the swimming pool for like 8 hours a day. 8 hours swimming, playing basketball, football. We was doing all types of things as kids, man. Riding our bikes all throughout the neighborhoods and everything. We was doing all types of things, you know. But like I said, during the summertime, what was we doing? We was going to the store. Ooh, I'll do a video on that too because I don't believe in stealing things like that. But I was a young age, and I admit I was the greatest thief in my neighborhood. I was the only one who didn't get caught. But I did stop on my own, and I'm going to do a video on that topic, you know, because that taught me a great lesson. I'm going to tell you the reason why I stopped stealing, you know, and I'm thankful that it happened, and I'm really thankful I did not get caught. But everybody else got caught, and they all suffered. Me, I suffered in another way. But yeah, so yeah, it was kind of tough growing up with so-called ADHD because I just couldn't pay attention, man. Like, I mean, think about it. Like, I literally failed English 2 twice, English 3 twice. I don't even know how I passed English 4. Actually, my teacher, Miss Shelton. I think she's a massage therapist now. I remember when I was going back to speak to the I used to, after graduated, I would always go back every year and just speak to all the students and everything and just talk to them about the career field. And then I saw Miss Shelton off, and I was like, wow, Miss Shelton, you know, you was my English 4 teacher, you know. So yeah, it was pretty good times. So like I said, I really had difficulties paying attention, man. Rippling, where you going? You going inside? Okay, you gotta knock on the door. So like I was saying, yeah, it was tough, man. You know, growing up, it's just that I was able to do everything I wanted to do. But what I noticed with ADHD or ADD, if it was something that I like, and I've noticed this with like my cousin, because he was labeled with it too. Luckily, his daddy got him off the medicine. We are able to concentrate on those things like video games or a topic that we like. When I say we are able to concentrate, we are able to concentrate, and it's like nothing can break our concentration. So that's why I also kind of, I'm like, I just don't know about that diagnosis, because if it's something that we want to concentrate on, we're going to concentrate on, and you cannot break our concentration. Like, I used to sit there and play video games for 12 hours straight. What you doing, Ripping? Oh, okay, I see you sitting down for like 12 hours straight, and you couldn't break my confidence. My confidence or my concentration, I would just focus, you know. But schoolwork, man, hey, I would look at do homework. I think my parents took a picture of me doing homework, and I didn't do homework too much in high school at all, junior high, you know. Even my parents, they would try to force me having homework. No, I ain't got no homework. I just didn't pay attention. And whatever the teachers taught for the most part, I just forgot. I mean, it was like they were just talking, in one ear, out the other ear. My brain wasn't processing nothing. I mean, it was just like nothing, you know. So, and then I said, after I graduated high school, I was going to college, TSTC. I was going for computer networking at the time. I went to class every single day, wasting money. I paid my own way to college. I didn't do no work at all in no class. All 5 of those classes, I did nothing. I failed every single class in college that first semester. And I was like, I'm wasting my time. I mean, I'm just here. What am I doing? I don't even know what I want to do. I don't even like this. I can't even concentrate, you know. I can't even stay focused, you know. So it was around 2000, 99, 98. I never forget my homeboy Philip Hamhead Hamilton. What up, boy? Hey, I never forget. He came back. He was on leave. What are you doing, boy? Okay. He came back on leave, and you know, I've always been in better shape than Philip my whole entire life, you know, especially right now, because he just, you know, he's 40 years old, I'm 40, so we have different lifestyle. But anyway, he came back. I was like, hey, man, he knocked on the door, raised his shirt up. I say, man, how you get that 6-pack? He said, oh, I just came back from boot camp, man. Well, what y'all doing boot camp? Yeah, I ain't know nothing about the military then. Oh, man, I was just exercising all day long, man. I got in shape. I looked down, I said, man, your 6-pack look better than mine. I know. Man, bump that. So we kept talking, we talked about for a couple of days, and you got it? Okay. Well, you getting big and strong. You trying to get in the house. Good job, son. Yeah, so we was talking about the so he was so I was like, man, I might, you know, I don't know, man, because I like to exercise. You know, I love to exercise, and I get paid to do all this stuff in boot camp. Man, this is crazy. I'm only talking about boot camp because this plays to the ADD part also. So I never forget, you know, went up there and took the ASVAB test. No. Before we took the ASVAB test, I was like, I tell you what, man, the only way I'm gonna join the military, because I just knew the Falcons was gonna beat Denver Broncos. We on the Dirty Bird. I just knew they was gonna win. I ain't joining no military. Falcons lost. John Elway, one of my John Elway dove over to the end zone, you know, and retired after that. That was it. I said, well, I guess I'm joining the military. I went up there to take the ASVAB. Listen, I took the ASVAB, y'all. Most people struggle to get into the military because of the ASVAB scores. Look, I took that ASVAB score and I only did one section of it. I probably did good on it. Then the other 2 or 3 sections, I did abracadabra. I was just, because remember I couldn't pay attention that long. My focus was shot. I had no focus. Matter of fact, whenever we used to take those state tests in grade school, I failed all those because I would look at it and I would just, man, I ain't got time for this stuff. Just, you know, I just didn't have the focus. The writing part, I write stuff, man, I'm done with this stuff. I don't care about those tests, man. Tests didn't mean nothing to me, you know, at the time. So, I mean, that's what it was. So, I never forget. So, when the jobs came back, they was like, you could be a CS, at the time they said MS, you know, a mess specialist, a cook. Or you could be an IT person, you know, because I was actually, you know, pretty good with the math department. So, I was good with math. So, I know I probably could have been great. I was like, IT, they get bigger bonuses. Well, what's the MS? What they do? Oh, you know, you're a cook. You know, you're a club. They say you're a club manager. You get to, you know, you get to work in the hotels, and they told me all the lies and stuff. You get to do all this. I get to be a club manager? Yeah, a club manager. You want this job? Hell yeah, I want that job. So, you know, I said, okay, sign me up. So, which, luckily, I'm glad I took that job instead of the IT job, because the IT job, all they do is sit in the ass all day long. You know, most of them got back problems anyway, for the most part, back problems. So, you know, they just sit there. See, I was a CS. You know, I was always on my feet in the galley. I was on a carrier. You know, I was on a carrier, you know, big carrier, just making all them hamburgers and, you know, pancakes. I never forgot I used to do breakfast, you know, throwing 52 pieces of pancake. I was always fast. 52 pancakes on the thing, the eggs on the thing, flip. You know, that's what I was doing in the military. But, you know, yeah, like I was saying with the, so after I took the test, I took the job, I went to boot camp, and, man, boot camp was good, because I was in boot camp, and I never forget, you know, they were just talking this. We can't wait till y'all able to pass medical, because we gon' PT, I forgot what they said, we gonna make it rain in here. I never forgot, I told him, hey, man, what you do, you can't affect me, man. I said, I'm a natural at this, man. Yeah, whatever, you can't even do 50 push-ups. which, you know, at the time I had never really ever done push-ups in my life before. So I never forget the very first time we did push-ups, right when we got done with medical, they said, okay, let's see how many push-ups you can do. I did like, I think it was 90 push-ups. At the time, 90 was like, whoa. They looked at me like, oh my goodness, did this dude just, because I was doing more than what they was doing. They couldn't mess, man, come on, man, those guys couldn't mess with me, man, those RDCs. I was natural at this stuff, man, you know, so they was trying to give me the, you know, do the, they want me to go do like the special, I didn't want to do the special forces stuff. They want me to do all types of stuff, man, you know. They had time for all that stuff, you know, but I just couldn't even like, check this out. When I was in boot camp, we used to be in those classes and stuff like that, I didn't pay attention to anything. Everything they told you, I didn't pay attention to. I was always dozing off. I was falling asleep, you know, because luckily in my boot camp, our classes, our RDCs, they let us eat all the sweets. You know, most of it, they couldn't eat sweets at all. We was able to eat all the sweets we want, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And what I was doing, I was eating all the sweets from all my other shipmates. That's what I was doing. Hey, you don't want that? I eat that, you can have this. And that's what I was living off of, you know, so. It was, yes. So my concentration was horrible. It was just bad, you know. I just couldn't concentrate. So, do you know I failed almost every single test in boot camp? Those written tests. You're not supposed to get out of boot camp with that. I do not know. I never forget. The only reason why they didn't hold me back in boot camp, because typically when people can't pass tests, they hold them back, or they put them in special classes where they get to slowly move along. I never forget. It was the master chief. He was like, you're a good leader, and you're physically fit. You're strong, so we're just going to just let you go with the flow. And also, I was a good leader. I was like one of them sex leaders at the time, you know, which they also, they removed me like one of them sex leaders because I kept failing my tests. I can't pay attention. But all the exercise stuff, man, it was crazy. I was on, man. I never forget, man. They'd be like, we going to make it rain in here. So they used to have it doing all this stuff. You know, I'm enjoying it because, man, I wanted, hey, what? Bodyweight exercises? Come on, man. I can do this stuff. But I was doing this in my sleep. So if I do it in my sleep, and that's in, you know, so-called spiritual or different realm or inside my brain for the most part, you mean to tell me I can't do this stuff in the physical? Oh, no. So it got to the point where, like, you know, I'm laughing and joking and having fun. Everybody mad at me. Man, why y'all mad at me? I'm having fun. I'm exercising, man. Because we don't want to do this. Hey, man, you should have been active as a kid. But, so it got to the point where they found my weakness. Remember, I'm AD. I was labeled ADHD, so it was tough for me to pay attention. So it was like, well, if Busby, he like to move so much, I tell you what, you gonna stand at attention. I gotta do what? See, that was before I knew how to, you know, quiet my energy down. Now, because, you know, I'm a sun gazer, you know, I can sit in one spot, you know, sun's out real good. Sit in one spot, you know, for an hour, you know, just sun gaze. That really took me to a whole new level, just being able to focus and just harness all my energy. But like a lot of times you see me moving my hand and clapping because I love to move. I love to, you know, throw expressions into my conversations for the most part. You know, I love to, because the hands are everything, you know, and I'm always moving because, you see, I'm sitting down, so I like to keep everything flowing and going and just keep all the tension. Come on, where attention goes, the blood goes, and the energy flows, you know. So I try to move as much as possible. What are you doing, son? Like my son, he's moving and grooving. He don't stop moving, but that's my son. I'm almost 40. Next month, son, you don't have much energy than me. You know, I give you that work when it comes to energy level. So yeah, so that was kind of like with the boot camp stuff. Don't ask me how I got out of boot camp, you know, because I was not supposed to get out of boot camp. I was just so much more physically fit than everybody else, and they said I was a great leader. They just a great leader. They just let me just go with the flow with everything. And they just said, okay, we'll pass me. So after that, you know, I went to San Antonio. I guess where I live right now. Medina, you know, for school, school. Now they told, it was like, listen, if y'all make the highest rating class, I'm competitive. I've always been competitive my whole life. I said, what? I can pick anywhere I want to go? So like the first few weeks, I was on top of everybody. I had everybody blown away. After that, lost focus, couldn't keep control of myself. Guess what? Well, we all know what happened after that. I went to the bottom of the class. Me, my homeboy Preston, Howard last name. I forgot the other dude's name. He was an older guy. Well, at the time, I was 20, he was 32. Ooh, he's in his 50s now. Last name Roberts. My homeboy Donald, you know, I was the first black person that met his wife, I think. You know, we were roommates, and we actually were pretty best friends throughout the military. He was like my little brother because he was always messing up, and I always had to help guide him with his money and stuff. You know how people get when they get to drinking and stuff. Yeah, so that was my homeboy though, man. Hey, I met him. He was a country white Caucasian. That's my dude right there, man. But yeah, man. So we ended up going to the Eisenhower, you know, because I couldn't concentrate, you know. I wanted the top orders. If I had the top orders, I would have got stationed in Italy my first tour, which I'm glad I went to the Dwight D. Eisenhower on the carrier because, man, that boat was fun. And if you was on the Eisenhower, we did that first cruise of Ike 2K, man, y'all know what I mean. That, woo, that's all I got to say. But even on the boat, I just couldn't focus, man. I was great at what I did. I was really good at what I did. I just really couldn't focus. So, you know, all the time, even like doing all the military tests for advancement, study. I never studied. Man, I tell you what, throughout my whole entire military career, I probably studied 30 minutes. It had to be 30 minutes. I wasn't doing nothing at all, you know. And if I was, like I said, if I had like the study gene in me at the time, with the be able to focus, with how I do now, when I'm reading like 18 hours a day, you know, sometimes 20, 24, I just keep going and going. Oh man, right now, let me see, 20 years, I would have been a master chief. I would have been a master chief because I'm so competitive that I would always want to make the highest grades and do the right thing, make the highest eval. But you know, that's who I am. You know, and I'm kind of glad it worked out the way it worked out now because I'm working on something even better. You know, throughout life. So you know, after that, pretty much I got the military. You know, that's when remember after my first video, I talked about me blowing out my knee. That's the greatest thing that happened to me because I had to learn how to read books. I had to learn how to study, and my nutrition really changed. So around 2009, 2010. I would say around 2007, 2008. You know, because I was already doing pretty much good in college, but I had to study. And boom, I didn't like that stuff. So I was making all A's because I had a 3.9 when I first applied for my physical therapy assistant. So I was doing pretty good. And then something happened, and I never forget when I started eating the black beans. When I started eating the black beans, I took the brown rice out. Listen what I'm saying. When I took the brown rice out and really cut down on my red meats, and added the black beans in, my focus intention level went from here to here. I was to the point to where I didn't have to study no more. I was able to just, whatever the teacher said, because I've always had a great memory. I just knew everything, you know. So I didn't have to study that much. So that was the biggest difference between the, you know, when I went from brown rice to black beans. Brown rice, listen, when I was eating brown rice, I had to eat like 4 to 6 times a day, 7 times a day. If I didn't eat every 2 hours, I was getting headaches, and it was crazy headaches, which, like I say, is what they would term a detox nowadays. But so I went to black beans, and when I was doing black beans, man, I was able to concentrate no matter what they said. Bang, 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 bang. I understood. And I remember around 2011, I went back to school. I said, you know what? I want to do a experiment. I want to start eating donuts every single day in class. Every Monday and every Friday. And that's what I did. I was eating donuts. And do you know, when I was eating those donuts, I ended up making a B in class. I had to study. And I couldn't pay attention at all. It's like everything had just came back just that fast. But I was still eating my black beans so much that it was kind of holding me a ground base. But for the most part, on specific days that I ate it, it just took everything away from me. So I'm not saying nutrition is a big part of it, but nutrition has its role. You know, it's other methods you can utilize, you know, especially what I know now, like breath work, calm the nervous system down, you know, getting inside and tapping into your subconscious and things of that nature. It's a lot of things that we could do to kind of balance ourselves to help us focus a lot more, you know, which I found, and my focus level is steady growing to a super high level nowadays. And I still have my times, you know, because, okay, listen, I did it for over close to 30 years, so, hey, still a degenerate. I can admit it. You know, I got my issues. We all got issues. You know, but I'm steady improving. You know, I'm steady improving. At least I don't have the injuries I used to have, like you know, just always twisting my ankles and blowing my knees out. And so it was crazy. Think about it. I mean, just think about this, y'all. Because of the nutrition I used to eat, I used to twist my ankles 2 to 3 times a month for over 20 years. I blew out. Boy, what are you doing? I blew out my knees. Back problem, lower back problem, hip problem. I blew out my shoulders, wrist problems. I mean, my whole body was just shot, man. And the reason, the difference between me now and then is my nervous system. My right side was so jacked up, like I couldn't do anything on my right side. Like if I played basketball, y'all knew me. I couldn't do nothing but go left. I was probably the quickest dude, you know. I'm not gonna lie, I was quick, man. Hey, you know, hey, I was lightning. That's what I was. I could move. I was fast. I'm still pretty fast. I still can move, but I could do everything in my life. My left hand was just lightning. You know, fighting, kicking, punching. It was just lightning. But my right hand, I had control over, but I had no motor skills. I couldn't do anything with no sports, no right, no nothing. Now, it gets to the point where if I was to go outside and train and just do everything with my right hand, my body's getting so balanced, like it's just everything's just equaling out for the most part. So yes, food played a big time role in that. You know, with the ADHD and things of that nature. But yeah, like I was saying, after around 2010, it was gone. And then when I got more into like my breath work, and instead of mouth breathing plays a horrible role in. And I used to always have my mouth open all the time. You coming out here too now, son? Come on. Say hi. Say hi. Boy. Yeah, so it played a role in that. It was tough. It was tough. You know. But I'm glad that I went through that, because I've seen some of my family members go through that, and I watched them overcome, and they, you know, pretty much saying the exact same thing. But yeah, but once I made that nutrition change and really got outside into the sun and to the power of the sun and breath work, and I guess they would call meditation, learning how to lower my brain wave down to alpha, get more into theta. Well, that's all combining so many different type of things. Yes, the isos played a crucial role. Let me tell y'all something, y'all. When I was a kid and I was growing up, I would go outside in the freezing cold weather, and guess what? My hands and feet would swell up. I used to go outside, I would fall on the ground, you know, like people that be bleeding real bad, and all the blood be squirting out. That was me. That was me growing up as a kid, you know. But luckily, I don't have those issues. That pretty much, that didn't stop until when I made the switch to when I came across like Dr. Africa and Dr. C, which I'm gonna do more videos about pretty soon, my experience. But after that, it was good, you know. I was, you know, now I could fall and scrape myself, and I might have a stick of blood, but that's it. Where you going, son? You gonna sit back down? You going to mama? See my boy, you see all these rocks out here? Yeah, they walk barefoot on these rocks, man. I like to call it nature's reflexology. You know, let them run. They just like me running on the rocks. You know, it's really just me and him, the youngest. Ripping, he's sometimey with it. But I mean, like I was saying, it's, man, yeah, it was tough with the with so-called ADHD. So I greatly improved over time. I feel a lot of parents it's a lot of things I see parents, because they always ask about the medicine and the medication and things like that. Man, it's so many things that you can do, so many things that I've came across, because I like to think I was the worst of the worst. Thankful to my daddy, he always said, there's nothing wrong with that boy. Technically, he was correct, you know. So after we did that medicine for those 6 weeks, he was done with it. They used to always have to put me in those slow classes. My dad was like, ain't nothing wrong with him. He be in those slow classes. Ain't nothing wrong with him, you know. I just didn't pay attention, you know. He would see me at home and he would talk to me. He was like, well, he ain't slow, you know. He got common sense. He's always arguing everything everybody say in the house, you know. So yeah, I gotta be thankful, you know, that my dad, you know, he didn't, you know, put me on the medication and things like that. So. Whew, boy, that's why it's always good to, you know, have a good, strong presence around, because, man, it could have been, man, because put it this way, all I'm going to say is a lot of parents nowadays, it's easy to be deceived of information, because like I said, there's always a way. If you can imagine it, if you can have fantasy about it, it's a possibility in these infinite worlds, and you can't bring it to reality. You know, so. But yeah, so that's kind of the story with the ADHD. And like I was saying, so many ways that you can slowly improve. You know, the different type of nutrition you can go over. Oh, and then when I went full plant-based, oh man, it was on after that. When I say it was all the way on. Plant-based and got to all the other things, it's like now, it's crazy. It's like, you can tell me something, I've always had a good memory. Now my memory is, oh, now y'all probably see me post about the Margarita plant. Let me see, do I, oh, I don't have it. Well, I got some all over my land anyway. But Agarita, and it starts to bloom. It grows in Texas, New Mexico, and Arizona, like in these hilly type of areas for the most part. You know, it doesn't like a lot of water, so it sounds like this is hill, so it's like a lot of hilly areas. So you like the water's going away, so it'll never be in those type of areas. But like it's a lot of information on the internet about it. Matter of fact, I got like 6 books on natural plants, things like that. Oh man, you can go on the internet, you can do your own research, you can find a lot out about it. But man, we talking about memory. But the Margarita, oh my goodness. See, right now the berries don't come until April or May. But man, I've been making teas and bath soaks and stuff with it. Oh my goodness, let me tell you something, man. Other than what it does, we're just gonna talk about the memory. My dream recall, I used to always somewhat have the dream recall, I would struggle with it. And sometimes my dream recall, I would like go out throughout the daytime and like, oh, okay, this is what I had a dream about. But now it's like I'm able to remember my dreams for like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days. Like for the past 5 days, I remember all my dreams, and my memory is crazy. Like I have clients when I'm working, when I see clients, and I haven't seen them like in 1 or 2 years. And then we'll start talking, and then I get like the specific body part. I'm like, oh, you do such and such. You're a teacher. You had this injury. We talked about this last time. They like, how do you? I'm like, I just tell them, I'm like, ma'am, sir, I have no idea. It's like everything is just coming to me. Or when I get to like the specific part of the body, I can just tell if they got like emotional trauma in that area, and I work it. And like constantly, I'm like, yeah, man, this is really helping the emotional trauma that I went through. But anyway, I don't know okay. The main component is it's a yellow bark, and it's berberine, B-E-R-I-N-E, just berberine. Just you can go look it up. You can research it. It's a lot of good information on it. They do the like the supplement nowadays, but I got the real stuff. And this stuff is, oh my goodness. So yeah, it's like yeah, I drink the tea all the time. You know, do my little bath soaps. You know, I do some other things with it, but it's very powerful and it grows abundant. One thing I know about it, according to reading, I don't know if it's true, but they say like if I wanted to pick it up and take it like in town in San Antonio, or take it to another city and try to grow it, they say it doesn't like it. It likes its place. It's natural. This is natural habitat. It doesn't want to go anywhere else, so it will produce the fungicides to protect itself. It's crazy, ain't it? You know. So I just wanted to talk about that with the memory because I think this is doing something great, and I've already been doing a lot of my work for my scalp, my face massage, and just relax my brain and things like that. Because the goal is to increase the circulation, especially the increased circulation of the cerebrospinal fluid. You know, for the most part, for the majority of Americans, it's stagnated. It's not just for concussions, dementia, Alzheimer's. We all have some minute of it. Because the reason why I can tell, because if you get on my table and I use these techniques on you, everything gets to draining. Everything gets to draining. Then all of a sudden, you're clear. The brain fog is gone. The migraine is starting to decrease. It's like, you know, after, you know, not just one session, but, you know, more and more sessions. These things start to happen. One of the first thing I noticed, because I love to move, was my ability to move. It just went from, I'm like, where did this come from? It's like my voltage increased in my body. It helped relax the body and the voltage, but that's the cerebrospinal fluid, and we're gonna do a topic on it. I didn't know that many people. I didn't know that many people thought that there was no other way to remove the stagnation of the cerebrospinal fluid, and unless it's the lumbar puncture. Because I was on Facebook one day and I was talking about on the post, and it was some lady. She was saying, I'm the director of something at some type of hospital. She's some type of, I guess, RN with a bachelor. I don't know, doctor. I don't know. And she knew nothing about it. And then I also had a family doctor on my table, and I was working on it, internal medicine, what she did with it. And she was talking about the lumbar puncture. I was like, no. So I had to actually do it on her. She was like, oh my goodness. I like literally felt out, everything is drained. I was like, you just feel the metallic. She was like, yeah, I tasted, I was kind of explaining to her with all that stuff, but that's the other topic we want to talk about. This was dealing with the ADHD. So I feel there's a lot of things we can actually do to help calm the symptoms. Even Dr. Sebi, he came out with a great, what was the name of his product? Anyway, it was developed for something, but it was great for ADHD because it helps get the blood flow back to the brain. It relaxes, and again, that's one of the main things that we need, to relax. We want to help relax and take you down from the beta wave down to alpha a whole lot more, so you can be focused and concentrate and just be there. You be present at the moment. You start to understand things. So yeah, that was a pretty good. There's a lot of things you could do. I'm just thankful that I don't have those issues. As I think my oldest son at one point, yeah, she was talking about that. Right now, because at the moment when she first came to my life, I don't even think he was but that's gonna be another video topic. I want him to be side by side with me when we do this video, because he can talk about the things that he went through. And let's put it this way: at one point, it was no more focus than 2 minutes at a time. Now, 6 hours is nothing at a time. Think about 6 hours is nothing. 4 hours is nothing. He gets up, he doing stuff, he learning stuff, and he is great. He's great. That's what he do. So, like I said, it's a lot of things we can do for ADHD. I guess whatever style of nutrition you can go in. I don't care if you eat raw meat. Yes, it's people out there eating raw meat. You can eat raw meat, go on a raw meat style of diet, and listen, you can help with the symptoms of what it's labeled ADHD. You can eat a standard American diet, but like I say, instead of eating brown rice, because brown rice and white rice is really horrible. Jasmine rice, that stuff is really horrible. If you're gonna eat rice, eat the long grain, wild black rice. I got a dude on my page by the name of Ben Salty or Ben something, but he goes and he harvests the long grain wild black rice. That stuff is, I don't eat beans like I used to, but if you want to eat some beans, eat black beans. This is what I was eating at the time. I was still eating eggs, but if you want to eat eggs, I don't consume the products anymore because I know I don't need it. I want to do a video on that and the supplements and things, another video. But I go out and get some, instead of buying the store-bought eggs, go out to a fresh farm and and get some some good organic brown eggs, and instead of using like spinach and broccoli and stuff like that in your vegetables, no, forget that, man. Go get some so you got enough where can grow all over the place. Go out and find something natural. Some no-park cactus. That stuff is good. It's a nutrient. That is the power nutrient. If you consume that, that is gonna feed the brain. And it's gonna do a really good job of, so you can do that. And if you want some red onions for season, throw some red onions, some red pepper, stuff like that. Make sure it tastes good so the kids can like it. Or you can make like some kamut flakes and like some kamut flakes with some agave. I don't use oil a lot, but if you want to use oil, throw some coconut oil off in to make it taste good. It's little simple things you can do. Even okay, be like, hey kids, we're gonna do an ice soak game. Okay, you get a bucket of ice water. If you're the parent, you do it first. All you can is 5 seconds, 2 seconds, take it off. Okay, go back. 2 seconds, take it off. Okay, go back. 2 seconds, take it off. That's it. You see? We did it 3 times a week for about a month. That 2 seconds is easily turn into.
Sorry, the camera stopped recording. Rip will do a part 2. You can find Life of Rip merchandise, like featured in the video, by going to the website mentioned in the description of this video. Thank you.
That's that dopamine, I mean dope. That's that